Hi, everyone. Welcome to the GW Art Therapy Graduate Program information session. My name is Ingrid Valdez, and I am the program manager. Our team consists, well, I'll get into our team, but I am the only non-art therapist in our team, but I have been here for 10 years and know this department and its amazingness quite well. There is a Q&A and a chat. Feel free to put questions as you think of them. If I can, I'll answer them as we go. And if not, we'll definitely have time at the end for Q&A. Let's get started. So the American Art Therapy Association, which is our national association, defines art therapy as an integrative mental health profession that combines knowledge and understanding of human development and psychological theories and techniques with visual arts and the creative process to provide a unique approach for helping clients improve psychological health, cognitive abilities, and sensory and motor functions. I promise this is the only time I'm going to read out loud to you. So if you don't know the American Art Therapy Association, I highly recommend that you get to know their page. They're a national association. They're located here in the DC area. And then there are local chapters. And we'll talk a little bit more about that moving forward. Our program is one of the oldest continuous programs in the US. I believe this is our 52nd or 53rd year. Actually, 55th, because 2020 COVID was supposed to be our 2021. So 54th was supposed to be our 50th anniversary. We were co-founded by Bernie Levy and Eleanor Ullman, and some of our first instructors were the pioneers of art therapy. Our team consists of 6 people, 5 full-time faculty. We have Heidi Bardot, who's our director. We've just welcomed Jennifer Baldwin into our team. She's become our internship liaison. We have Sansari Burrell, who's our internship coordinator. Jordan Potash works on research, and Erica Van Brunt is our clinical coordinator. So there are 5 full-time faculty and me. So the 6 of us create the core team. And then we have a ton of adjuncts. I don't think I have all the pictures in here because we also have summer electives. So our program is quite big, and we bring in people, not only our full-time faculty are teaching, but also the people that are out in the field. For example, Carrie, where's Carrie's picture down here, is a social worker. She has a private practice. She works at schools. She works at Inova. She has private practice. She's worked with kids with cancer. So everybody has their own field of expertise, and then they come in here and they bring it. Our student population is quite diverse, very international, all over the country. This year we have a lot of students, for example, from Taiwan, we have Korea, we have Italy, South Africa. So our cohorts are quite diverse, and we're quite a big program in comparison to others. For example, our incoming class this year was 38 students. There are 4 training components to our program. So there are the 61 credits for the program. There's the internship, which requires at least 900 hours. There's a beautiful gallery that we have that I'll show you more pictures of later. And then we have the culminating project. We are an accredited art therapy program. Some programs are approved, some are accredited. Usually approved programs are going through the accreditation process, but please check if you are coming from whatever state you're coming from, please check what the requirements are for licensure in that state, whether it's art therapy or LPC or anything else. A little bit about our courses. Like I said, we're a 61 credit program. 57 of those credits are set in stone. You've got human development and counseling and studio, ethics, diversity, trauma. Looking at my list here, marital and family, human development, practicum, history and theory, studio and technique, And then you've got 4 1-credit courses on electives, which are the ones that you're looking at. Our program is starts every fall. We don't accept students in the spring or summer. We start in the fall, and there's a method to our madness of the way you take the courses. And in the summer, and so it's 2 falls, 2 springs, 2 summers, and then in the summers, you take elective courses. Internships are in the general, what we call the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. You need at least 900 hours in order to become an art therapist and to graduate from the program, but some states require more hours. So you have 2 internships in the program. One is your first year, you start from day 1. So the summer before you come in, you interview at different sites, you pick your site, your site picks you. It's kind of like a job interview. Our internship coordinator and liaison will give you a list of sites and give you all the information, so you don't have to look for your own site. We have sites and agreements and all of that. And we encourage you to do 1 clinical and 1 community and 1 adult and 1 child. Doesn't mean that always works out that way, but it is what we suggest. This picture down here is Michelle Obama at one of our sites, and that was what one of the clients had done during their art therapy session, so they presented it to her. Talked about we have a beautiful art gallery. It's everybody on campus loves art, like changing of the gallery, because we have 3 exhibits a year. So in the fall, it's incoming students. In the spring is graduating students, and in the summer, every year it's something different. Last year, this past summer was faculty throughout the years. This coming summer is going to be a Ukrainian exhibit. So we're always doing something different. It's really fun that we have the art on the walls change. The other people on campus really like it. So it's a beautiful way to add to the program. And then sometimes a lot of the ethics class will post up their stuff. Story class will post up their stuff as well. Each student does a culminating project at the end. They will work through their research class, which is one of the classes, the beginning of their second year, and then write for about 8 months. Some of these pictures are during presentation at GW. You don't have to present to the bigger campus, but you can if you choose to. Most of our students choose to. And it's just a really good way to learn to write your thoughts and your theories and your processes, and you're guided with your research professor. It's not your typical thesis, but it is like a culmination of everything that you've learned in your 2 or 3 years if you do part-time. What's unique to GW? We are a trauma-informed program. We have 6 credits in trauma. We have a clinic that is linked to our trauma class. So we actually have an in-person community clinic that will we'll talk about all these things in particular. We've got an international study abroad program. They just returned from India about a month ago. Our classrooms are pretty, oh my gosh, my computer wants to reboot. 1 second, let me snooze that. We've got research, student focused, state-of-the-art learning. We're in the nation's capital, which is really, really cool. We do lifelong learning because you still need training after you become a therapist. So let's go into all of these. This is our campus. We are actually located in Alexandria, Virginia. We're about 7 metro stops from the main DC campus, but our campus is quite tiny. It's a graduate center. This top floor right here, or part of this floor, is our campus. Art therapy, school counseling, forensic psychology, and publishing are the 4 major programs housed here. I will get to, I see questions coming in. I'm going to get to them at the end. So we do have a general public area, which has a kitchen and all the things for the students. We have a Mac lab. We have PCs out here. We have a beautiful veranda for the nice weather. We have 2 dedicated classrooms just for our program. We don't share them with anyone, and a studio. So this is our studio. And then we have a departmental library, since our main library is not here. We like I said, we have our own classrooms. And so all of this, all of these shelves that you see are full of art materials. And then students also get their own art box at the beginning of each program, and they refill it as they go or as they need. We are a trauma informed program. So we have 6 credits in trauma. So there's trauma 1 and trauma 2, and that's linked to a lab called Case Consult, and that is linked to your clinic client. So it is a very, very well-rounded process. Trauma 1 is currently being taught by Jen and Chandra, and they kind of give you the base, and then trauma 2 is Heidi, which is our director, and she goes into the different veterans and victims of war. She's a specialist in trauma, war trauma. So then she goes into all of the different areas of trauma. And then, like I said, you have your clinic client. And this is our beautiful clinic. And our clinic, you can't actually see it in these pictures. I might have to update that, but there are cameras all around the room, and there's a recording system. So you are recording your sessions. The clients are aware. Our clinic is on a sliding scale, so clients pay what they can since we don't accept insurance. Some clients pay as little as $5 a session. That includes all of the supplies. Clients are aware that it's a student therapist. And then once a week, you have 1 hour of case consult where you talk about your client and discuss what went well, what went right. And since you can record it, you get to go back and see how you're growing throughout the year, which is really interesting. Some people are always a little nervous about the camera at the beginning, and then with time, they completely forget about it. Study abroad, like I just said, they just went to India this year. I got to do Croatia in 2018, and it was an incredible experience. It is amazing to see how art can transcend languages. So Heidi just came back from India with the students. They were gone for 4 weeks, and it really is a life-changing experience. I had lived in Europe before coming to work here. I had traveled extensively in my life, and I always thought when she said it was a life-changing experience, like, how much can something like this change you? And I was proven very wrong. It was definitely a life-changing experience. I learned so much from it, and I didn't even go as a student. I went as a program lead, and it was still, I grew so much out of it. So it's a beautiful experience that we have. We used to alternate between India and South Africa. After COVID, this has been our first trip that we went back. So we do not know what we will be doing next year, but hopefully we can continue to find new places to explore. Like I said, there's research class. Right now, this is more GW's research that you can showcase your case study that you write for your culminating project. It's optional, but we always encourage our students to do it. And if you want to do it, then your research faculty will work with you. Our program is very student focused. We have GWATSA, which is the GW Art Therapy Student Association. And then the big SIB, little SIB. So the second years, take on a first year, and they help them and they mentor them and they teach them the ropes. Like I said, our program is quite big. Our incoming cohort was 38. Our total, we've got about 70 students between the 3 years. They're here Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We get to see them. We get to spend a lot of time with them. We're always trying to get their feedback and what they need and how we can help them grow besides the professional identity. We have a anti-racism and anti-oppression statement. The beauty of this is it's a live document, so it changes every year, depending on what our students are looking at, depending on what the world is looking at, depending on what we all need. And it's a beautiful thing that we work on year after year. We talk about it a little bit in orientation, and then we have a big diversity. We have more of like a cultural coming together. Everybody brings foods from their different cultures and their different backgrounds, and we do group breakouts, and we talk about what's going on and what the students are looking for, what they see, what they like to change, what they'd like to improve. So it's not just faculty led, it's student led, and then we invite all our adjuncts to participate. We are in the nation's capital, so that does allow us to do a little bit more push on legislation. This picture right here, hopefully you guys can see my mouse. This person right here is Jordan. Jordan is our research faculty. He led the licensure for DC for art therapy. It allows us to be closer to what's happening and to be able to make more changes for the field in mental health. It is politics is our background and our backyard and our local news, so it does influence a lot. But there are a lot of benefits to being close to where laws are being made. Lifelong learning and workshops. So as an art therapist or as any kind of therapist, you're always going to need continuing education credits. So we offer many courses. So our graduate students, our alumni can come back and do workshops and train on things and get more in depth into specific trainings. And what's wonderful is then we get to see our alumni, not just at a conference, but we get to see them at the workshops we do on campus or the ones that we do online. Like I said, the American Art Therapy Association, their headquarters used to be like 2 miles from here. They now are a remote location, but they always ask for our students to be their interns. And then there's the Potomac, Maryland, and Virginia Art Therapy Associations, which are more the local chapters. So what is it to join this program and what do you need? Well, take a sip of water. We have 2 program options. So one is the straight master's. You did your undergraduate with your prerequisites and you come in to do a straight master's program with us, which is 2 years full-time, 3 years part-time. Then there's the BA MA program, which means you are an undergraduate at GW. You apply during your junior year and then your senior year, you combine our program with your undergraduate. And if anybody is looking at BA/MA, I will give you my email and we can talk more in depth about it. What does it take to apply? So we require 18 credits in studio art, 3 credits in drawing, 3 credits in painting, and 3 credits in figurative clay work or sculpture. And the other 9 credits can be in anything that you want as long as they are studio based. We do not take art history or art appreciation. It has to be art that you're doing. It could be digital, it could be 6 classes of painting. That is fine. We just require it to be studio work, and then 6 credits in psychology, any 6 credits that you are interested in. Our application opens in November. We do interviews in usually early February. It's an all-day interview process. You come in at like 9, you have coffee, you get to meet people, and then you have a 2-hour group interview. So it's you and 9 other people and 2 faculty and 2 students. And it's a conversation. I know that the idea of a group interview can sound or a whole day interview can sound very scary, but it is our goal to make it as relaxing as possible. I feel that usually like by lunchtime, people have relaxed and can actually see that we want it to be a fun experience. We have chocolate all over the place and we bring in our current students so that you can talk to them and get to know them and ask them the questions that sometimes you might not want to ask our team. Then we have, after the group presentation, the group interviews, we have a presentation, and then we have lunch that you have with the students. And then you have about 20-25 minute individual interview. And those are required unless you're international or there's a very good reason that you can't be here, but we do require in-person interviews. We definitely need a portfolio. We're looking that you're proficient in art. And that you're also using art for yourself and to help you in your own therapy. Financial aid, that is the big question. I see already a question that says, what is the expected tuition per year? At current, I believe our credit is at 1,900 and something. They just updated it, so I don't remember it off my head, but approximately $2,000 a credit. It's a 61 credit program. So the program is on the higher end, and looking for financial aid is a full-time job. We say this all the time. I will tell you from right now that you should look for private grants immediately, even if you don't know what school you're going to, even if you don't know what program you're actually attending. If you know that you want to work in something with art or something mental health related, start looking right now, because it is a lot of money. And the way that things are changing currently is a little bit of unknown of what graduates loans are going to look like in the future. Right now, this is the last year that Graduate Plus loans are available. So there's a lot of changes happening. So definitely take your time as soon as you can. If you know that you will be studying in the fall of 2026, start looking for money now. We do have the Minority Serving Institute Award. So if you come from certain schools or if you come from certain countries, there are these awards, and you can look online to see what those specifics are. We have a work study every year. And like I said, looking for private grants can be a full-time job. And then finally, this is our email, phone number. This email goes directly to me. My name is Ingrid again, if you didn't start at the beginning.